evacuation points. Ship released. Engines engaged. Orbital flight engaged. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Commander. You pilot fed types are usually busy. Always legal work, right? All right, you're good to go.
Security profile cloned. Entering pressurized environment.
You gotta keep your gun stowed around here.
Mission status updated. Shield activated. Leave a pressurized environment.
Over here now. Send reinforcements.
Engaging target!
Shield offline. Shield online.
Under attack. Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Orbital flight engaged. Integrity compromised. Flight assist off. Flight assist on. Docking request granted. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Warning. Extremely low temperature detected.
Sit rep normal. Don't you dare. I'm just gonna check you out.
Scan detected.
Alright, you're good to go.
Suit recharging. Suit fully charged.
All quiet here. Nothing to report. Sit rep normal. rep normal.
Suit recharging. Suit fully charged.
Nothing to report.
Security profile cloned.
Nothing unusual to report.
Entering pressurized environment.
Let me scan you. Restore your weapon.
Scan detected. No bounty detected. Warning. Extremely low temperature detected. Leaving pressurized environment. Shield activated. Shield offline. Vital signs
Under attack. Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Hull integrity compromised. Scan detected. Scan detected. Frame shift charge detected. Frame shift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. Docking request granted. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged. Ship released. Engines engaged. Frameshift drive charging. Three, two, one. Engage.
Okay. It's a long way. Time for a wine.
Federal election. The Allied perspective. The Alliance is observing the federal president election, but expects little will change in relationships between the two superpowers. Prime Minister Edmund Mahn delivered a formal address on the topic before the Assembly. The Alliance continues to enjoy stable relations with the Federation. Our recent anti-Xeno coalitions, including the reformation of Aegis, show how we can benefit from maintaining such cooperation. I am confident that the new president, whoever it may be, will respect the status quo. Councillor Nakato Kane gave a more direct statement to the press. I cannot ignore how the Federation has become more authoritarian under Zachary Hudson's Republican government. It has also coped poorly with internal pressures. The Starship One conspiracy, Jupiter Division's attempted coup, the secession crisis triggered by the Proactive Detection Bureau's operation. The list goes on. And yet, federal democracy is now empowering every individual to elect their leaders. That, at least, is something we in the Alliance should admire and consider adopting. Vanya Driscoll, political correspondent for the Alliance Tribune, reported, "Most allied politicians are too diplomatic to openly express a preference between the two candidates. Privately, councillors like Kane are hopeful of a more nuanced relationship with Winters, who lacks the hawkish rhetoric of Hudson. However, others believe that Archer's focus on military spending and domestic security might prove more practical in the face of the Thargoid invasion." The latest voting polls from federal systems show that Jerome Archer has overtaken Felicia Winters, albeit by a narrow margin. The voting window ends on the 15th, with the results verified by Monday to determine the victor of the 3,309 federal presidential election. Federal election. The Imperial perspective. As the Federation readies itself for a new president, the Empire is preparing for potential changes to its relationship with its historical rival. Last year, Emperor Arisa Lavany Duval severed all official collaboration with the other superpowers, except for limited contributions to Aegis. But this does not mean the Empire is ignoring the potential impact of either Jerome Archer or Felicia Winters becoming the next federal president. Senator Denton Patrios remarked on the election during a military parade through the city of Port Isabel. The Federation's leaders always reinforce their popularity by framing the Empire as the great enemy. I expect Archer will have those same aggressive tendencies. In truth, I'd prefer to deal with that predictable approach, since Winters is clearly the more cunning and deceitful candidate. Princess Aisling Duval was asked her opinion while visiting a xenology seminar hosted by the Akanar Research Council. I must admit that Felicia Winters' style of governance is more appealing, though she should be mindful of her running mate's influence. But whoever becomes president must break the cycle of hostility between Empire and Federation. My fruitful collaboration with other Aegis delegates and ACT's success against the Neo-Marlinist Liberation Army is evidence of how effective inter-superpower cooperation can be. The election was also discussed by Cassia Carvalho, political journalist for the Imperial Herald. The average Imperial citizen has little interest in the Federation's internal workings, but anxiety in the Senate is high. With the Thargoid War still raging, the prospect of a new president seeking to stamp their authority on the interstellar stage is a major concern. Conversely, some captains of industry anticipate a new era of trade with a friendlier Federation if the Emperor can be convinced to rescind her isolationist decree. Voting within federal systems has been running for 24 hours, and polling suggests Felicia Winters holds a slight lead over Jerome Archer. The election will run for another 3 days. Sol celebrations end as election begins. Pilots Federation alert. The Federation has begun voting to decide its next president as a week of festivities in the Sol system are concluded. Congress confirmed that any pilots who supplied rare goods for the celebratory events can collect payment from the Qingzhou starport. All temporary system permits for Sol remain suspended for pilots Federation members for a further week. The 3,309 presidential election has now officially begun. More than 1 trillion federal citizens are expected to submit their votes, which will be recorded and collated over the next 4 days via secure digital systems. Vice President Jerome Archer is the Republican Party candidate who is widely perceived as the political heir to President Zachary Hudson. His running mate is Congressman Nico Shirakawa, who has strong connections within the military. Shadow President Felicia Winters, leader of the Liberal Party, is the rival candidate and a proponent of more humanitarian-focused policies. She is on a presidential ticket with Congressman Isolde Rochester, matriarch of the famous Rochester dynasty. Sophia Trevino, political correspondent for the Federal Times, commented, "Following months of delay, logistical issues caused by the Thargoid War, plus the drama surrounding Zachary Rackham, voting is finally underway. Analysts believe this could be one of the closest-run elections in the Federation's history, reflecting the polarization that has taken place in recent years. Support for the Republican Party has been bolstered by its increasingly successful handling of the Thargoid menace during the past 6 months. But Archer's flagship creation, the Proactive Detection Bureau, remains highly divisive, something the Liberal Party has found success in using to frame its opponent as increasingly authoritarian. How these primary points will ultimately impact the outcome of the vote remains to be seen. The new president will be announced on Monday, 16th October. President Hudson will remain in office as caretaker president until the official inauguration of the election winner, expected to take place in the new year. First captives freed from Thargoid Titans. The first humans rescued from the Thargoid motherships have started to arrive, almost all of whom have so far survived extraction. The highly dangerous task requires using an upgraded pulse wave Xeno scanner to detect human life signs on the Titans. The new subsurface extraction missiles then target and jettison the biostorage capsules, as the structures are officially designated, which are then recovered using a cargo scoop. All recovered individuals are being assessed by medical specialists. The tri-superpower agency Aegis released this statement to the media. In each case, research teams successfully cracked open the capsules and removed the comatose person. They were suspended within a chemically complex gel, not unlike amniotic fluid, with tubes supplying breathable air and basic nutrients. Between 30 and 90 minutes later, the person wakes. All recovered individuals are currently being kept in strict medical quarantine under military guard. Molecular scans are being conducted to ensure that no traces of Thargoid material remains, and a period of long-term observation now begins. Mary Gray, an independent healthcare analyst, was permitted to observe these procedures. As part of a report in the Empirical Scientific Journal, she noted, "The former abductees I have seen looked physically healthy and returned to consciousness easily. Most remembered little about their abduction, though several mentioned an overwhelming urge to escape their ship prior to blacking out. Some described being semi-aware of their time in stasis, saying it felt like an extended dream. Others were in a state of shock or showed signs of psychological trauma, understandably, considering the nightmarish circumstances. The capsules are clearly designed to sustain oxygen-breathing life forms indefinitely, protected both from the vacuum of space and the Thargoid's ammonia-based environment. But what the aliens intended to use these people for remains unknown. Aegis later stated that identities are being logged and will soon be made public, with the hope that families and friends will be able to visit. Scientists study Thargoid barnacle matrix sites. Aegis xenologists are focusing their efforts on the mysterious alien growths reported on multiple planets and moons in the Trianguli sector. These have been designated Thargoid barnacle matrix sites due to their resemblance to the barnacles that produce meta-alloys, but are far greater in size and complexity. Commander Yosulin Aquino described visiting one of these sites to Vox Galactica. This wasn't an easy place to explore, since I had to avoid revenant drones and the occasional Thargoid scout. Once I did get up close, I found it unsettling as all hell. Each barnacle clump was a mound-like structure over a kilometer across, with several rounded peaks. Spaced around these were weird coral trees, which squeeze out a caustic sap-like stuff and dropped bizarre-looking fruits. What really made me nervous were the spear roots in the middle of the site. They're made of some toughened substance in a sort of segmented spike, like gigantic skeletal fingers reaching up through the ground. If you ask me, these things are alive in some way. The noises my audio converter picked up made me feel like they were moving, closing around me to drag me down. Professor Seamus Madigan, Federal Scientific Liaison to Aegis, published a project update. Barnacle matrix sites emit a significant amount of electromagnetic interference which, coupled with aggressive Thargoid defenders, has prevented a detailed underground analysis. However, Aegis is now devoting extra resources to investigate why these organic structures exist. I can report that geological sensors have detected vibrations resulting from subsurface activity, with occasional quakes rippling across the ground. This suggests that violent chemical or physical processes are taking place internally. The prevailing theory is that these sites are still not completely formed, but we cannot yet determine their nature or purpose. Celebrations in Seoul for federal election. Pilots Federation alert. A series of public events to celebrate the forthcoming presidential election are being held in the Seoul system. Congress approved a request by President Zachary Hudson to finance a range of festivities, concerts and shows across the home system of the Federation. Millions of people are expected to attend, leading to a request for supplies of crystalline spheres, Eurasian goose beer, Indie bourbon, LTT Hypersweet and Pantar prayer sticks to be delivered to Li Qingzhou starport in orbit over planet Earth. Congress also agreed to authorize a temporary 2-week permit for all Pilots Federation members to access the Seoul system. President Hudson announced the events across all federal news channels, where he said, "Now we approach the time, as determined centuries ago by the Federal Accord, of our civilization's most profound tradition, the peaceful transfer of power. I have been deeply honored to serve as your president for the past 8 years. And you, the people of the galaxy's largest ever democracy, deserve to celebrate all that we have accomplished together. Vox Galactica's political journalist Conrad Sterling observed, "This is clearly a high-profile attempt to boost public morale, one that allows President Hudson to leave office on a positive note. Political critics are viewing it as a way to distract the citizens from the prolonged Thargoid War, the recent Rackham scandal, and various other challenges besetting the Federation. But the eagerness of most citizens to embrace the sentiment proves one fact remains true. Everyone loves a party." Voting will open next Thursday for federal citizens to choose either Vice President Jerome Archer or Shadow President Felicia Winters as their next president. The election winner will be announced at the start of the following week. Aegis produces subsurface extraction missiles. Pilots Federation alert. Rescue megaships now stock Aegis's modified mining tool, designed to extract biostorage capsules from Thargoid Titans. The subsurface extraction missiles went into rapid production following a delivery initiative in the Senmu system. Aegis has confirmed that pilots who transported CMM composites, neofabric insulation and osmium to Springer Gateway can now collect their rewards. Bounty vouchers for all wanted ships destroyed during the past week will also be redeemed at the same location. Aid and Tanner discussed tactics for using the new module. These specialized devices are designed to be used alongside the PulseWave Xenoscanner, which can now pinpoint human life signs beneath the hull of a Titan. If accurately targeted, an extraction missile should penetrate far enough into the outer hull to jettison the pod-like structures containing captives. Assuming the extraction is successful, these capsules can then be taken on board via cargo scoop. All pilots who achieve this should deliver recovered capsules to the nearest search and rescue contact. Aegis has provided instructions to medical and military teams standing by at these locations. These personnel will place capsules into high-security quarantine before attempting to revive the occupants. Once again, I remind pilots to outfit their ships to deal with the Maelstrom's caustic effects, defensive barriers and Thargoid patrols. Deploying the extraction missiles might also trigger counterattacks from the Titans themselves. These are perhaps the most dangerous rescue missions ever attempted, but I am confident that we can bring many of our people home. The first wave of ships equipped with subsurface extraction missiles are already making their initial forays into the Maelstroms. The future of the throne. The Imperial Senate has formally raised the issue that Emperor Arisa Lavany Duval has not yet produced any direct heirs. The debate was instigated by Senator Lysandra Corsell. The continuation of the Duval bloodline has formed the linchpin of our society for over 1,000 years. But it has been 8 years since Arisa Lavany Duval became our ruler. In that time there has been no spouse or consort, no indications of marriage, and no biological heir to the throne. We politely remind the Emperor of her duty to ensure the line of succession. Following a highly spirited exchange among senators, Chancellor Anders Blaine proclaimed, "Her Majesty has sacrificed much for the Empire. It is not our place to question her personal choices, but rather to support her vision for our prosperity and security." Gudrun Vesterkor, royal correspondent for the Imperial Herald, analyzed the situation. This is a delicate subject, but one of enormous importance. The Imperial Mother's recent illness has brought into focus the passing of the torch through each generation of Duvals. Every emperor of the last 1,000 years has had one or more children. The public has a certain expectation that an emperor will produce healthy heirs to continue the Duval line, and each new birth is proudly celebrated across the Empire. However, there has never been any indication that Arisa has a partner or entertains marriage prospects of any kind. Princess Aisling Duval's romantic liaisons, including, famously, a federal ambassador, took the media spotlight for years. Hadrian Duval is married with a baby son, and others such as Archduke Otto Lombardo Duval have multiple offspring. But Her Majesty seems content to rule alone. Senator Corsell has raised a valid question. How long can this continue? And if Arisa remains childless, who will be the next emperor? Deliver resources for extraction missile manufacture. Pilots Federation alert. Aegis has requested materials to construct subsurface extraction missiles that recover imprisoned humans from the Titans. Professor Albert Tesro, head of Aegis, announced. Using blueprints provided by Sirius Corporation, engineering teams have worked around the clock to modify subsurface displacement munitions. These adaptations enable the projectiles to breach sections of the Titan's hulls and jettison the biostorage capsules embedded within. We could spend the next few months in a testing cycle, and ideally that would be the case, but lives are at risk and we can't be sure how much time our missing have. Therefore, we have approved mass production of these subsurface extraction missiles. Industrial materials are urgently needed to establish assembly centers so that we can distribute them as rapidly as possible. Princess Aisling Duval, who is coordinating the Empire's involvement with Aegis, transmitted a personal message. My heart goes out to the families and friends of the millions unaccounted for following the Thargoid invasions. But I urge you all to hold on to the hope of seeing your loved ones again. With this breakthrough, we finally have a chance to rescue some of those poor souls. Nobody doubts that this will be dangerous, and yet if this war has proved anything, it's that we can rise to any challenge when we work together. Aegis has requested shipments of CMM composites, neofabric insulation and osmium to be delivered to Springer Gateway in the Senlu system. To protect transports, bounty vouchers for all wanted ships in the system will be redeemed by the Green Party of Senlu. Thargoid War Update. September 3309.
Orbital flight engaged. Docking request granted. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Warning. Dangerously low temperature detected.
Kelvin. That's pretty low.
Hey there, Commander. Lower your weapon now!
Mission status updated. Bounty detected.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Frameshift drive charging. Three, two, one. Engage.
That's a fair amount of distance to cover. Might as well go and get a wine.
The race is on to develop technology which can recover humans from Thargoid Titans, reports Vox Galactica journalist Jade Sanderlin. Now we know the stomach-churning truth. The Thargoids are keeping people they abduct alive. The dramatic leak of a high-level conversation within Aegis confirmed that Thargoid tactics had shifted to incorporate the mass abduction of humans. Seo Jin A's telepathic connection to the aliens revealed that captives are being stored inside pod-like structures aboard the Titans. She also sensed that the Thargoids considered these captives an important part of their invasion plan. Aegis took these visions seriously, releasing an update to the Pulsewave Xenoscanner that was designed to test her hypothesis. Sure enough, those pilots who dared make a close approach to the Thargoid motherships detected human life signs beneath their hulls. This is where civilians from conquered systems are being held. For what purpose? we scarcely dare imagine. Demands to save these people from their unknown fate have rippled across every inhabited world. To their credit, the three superpowers have empowered Aegis to make this its top priority. Even Sirius Corporation has offered assistance, sharing designs for a modified subsurface displacement missile that might be capable of extracting these pods from within the Titans. Time is of the essence, since not even Seo Jin-A knows for certain what the Thargoid intentions are for the prisoners. From the scientific community to the general public, there is enormous speculation. What state will the captives be in, assuming they can be recovered alive? Will they even be recognizably human? Some xenologists claim that the life support chambers, to protect humans from the Thargoid's toxic atmosphere, mean a stable physical condition is probably. But whether this is a necessity of their capture methods or an intentional step in a broader process remains unclear. Meanwhile, anti-Xeno forces continue to achieve impressive results. The number of Thargoid-controlled systems has reduced significantly from only 3 months ago. Alien fleets are apparently struggling to expand their territory, with organized system defenses supported by the Pilots Federation preventing the loss of new systems. What seemed like a near-hopeless task when the Maelstroms arrived has become a shining example of human courage and determination for future generations. This is Jade Sanderlin for Vox Galactica. Stay safe out there. Aegis resolves to free abductees from Titans. With human life science now confirmed beneath the hulls of the Thargoid Titans, the urgency to mount a rescue mission has intensified. Many pilots equipped with the updated pulse wave Xeno scanner detected signals that match living humans on every Titan mothership. As a result, Aegis has prioritized finding a way to recover the abducted. A potential solution has emerged, reportedly via a low-ranking engineer within Sirius Corporation. Director Ivano Columbera, the Empire's scientific liaison to Aegis, explained. Leon Rui has shared Sirius Corporation's projects to counter Thargoid abductions, and this has accelerated our work. Among their research was a blueprint that repurposes subsurface displacement missiles, a commonly used mining tool, to breach Thargoid vessels and expose captured escape pods. These missiles were originally designed to extract mineral deposits from within asteroids without causing its destruction. Our consensus is that with some modifications, they could be deployed to target the human storage chambers within the Titan and retrieve the captives safely. Aidan Tanner discussed the approach with cautious optimism. This could be the non-lethal rescue method we've been searching for. However, these missiles are intended for minerals, not people, and Thargoid technology is poorly understood. We must ensure that we won't inadvertently harm those we're trying to save, and prevent an aggressive reaction from the Titans themselves if possible. Aegis confirmed that it has begun manufacturing prototype subsurface missiles capable of penetrating the Titans' outer hulls. Further developments are expected to be announced shortly. Rackham withdraws from presidential election. Zachary Rackham has officially ended his election campaign, following the discovery of evidence that supported claims of his criminal past. Federal Times journalist Brianna Blanco published the results of an investigation by the Wall-Glass Investigations Agency, which included a message archive found on Zeta Trianguli Australis, a 7A. These findings strongly support a long-standing rumor that the trillionaire operated as notorious pirate Lord Calicozac prior to inheriting his family's wealth. PR consultant Anya Blackriver delivered a statement. In her role as campaign manager, Mr. Rackham has decided that these attempts at defamation are a regrettable distraction from his election campaign. His amused tolerance of the nickname Calicozac - a nickname assigned to him by the media, I should point out, is not an admission of any true link to that despicable outlaw. Rather than allow the race for the federal presidency to be clouded by these ridiculous claims, Mr. Rackham's legal team has advised a focus on defending his good name away from the spotlight. This announcement came a day after Congressman Harlan Turk formally resigned from his role as Zachary Rackham's running mate. He will continue representing the Duanta system as an independent. Federation correspondent Patricia Chen reported on the situation for Vox Galactica. there is speculation Rackham was warned that any further revelations could render him unelectable to the majority and open to criminal charges. While the Federal Times piece is mostly based on circumstantial evidence at this stage, Rackham's willingness to concede his claim to the presidency suggests a nervousness towards deeper dives into his past. His business portfolio has also been severely damaged, causing billions of losses in share price. Investors and corporate partners are avoiding any association with the man who may once have been Calico Zack. Both of his political rivals welcomed the news. Nobody with even a hint of criminality deserves a position of such significant power, remarked former FIA Director Jerome Archer, while Felicia Winters agreed it was best that Rackham stands aside to let the grown-ups do their work. The electoral race is now evenly balanced between the two, with voting scheduled to take place in October. Wallglass links Rackham to Calico Zack. The Federal Times has published evidence that trillionaire and presidential candidate Zachary Rackham was once the pirate lord Calico Zack. The newsfeed featured a detailed expose by financial journalist Brianna Blanco. The Wallglass Investigations Agency has confirmed my long-held suspicions about Zachary Rackham's past. With the timely assistance of independent pilots, we have unearthed a message archive concealed in the Zeta Trianguli Australis system. This was created as insurance by a pirate named Angelo de Vries. Wallglass's analysis revealed that de Vries learned of Zachary Rackham's alter ego over 16 years ago, and threatened to transmit evidence to several news feeds, including, ironically, us here at the Federal Times. While de Vries seems to have disappeared around 3992 with his evidence withheld, conversations from that period were traced to the Wishbone Point facility. Wallglass, in conjunction with volunteer pilots, tracked down and decrypted the damning logs. This vindicates my many years investigating Rackham's criminal activities and corruption. More importantly, we have proved that the Federation is at risk of electing a pirate lord as its president. Vox Galactica reporter Patricia Chen covered the story. Mr. Rackham strenuously denied these allegations, stating that he always tolerated being associated with a mythical figure as it gave him an aura of danger that was useful in boardroom meetings. His devoted followers say that the evidence was manufactured for Wallglass to find, and that Brianna Blanco is secretly funded by either Jerome Archer or Felicia Winters. However, high-profile supporters such as business magnates Sir Randolph Plaskett and icecaster Sura Owikon have publicly withdrawn their support. The value of shares in Rackham Capital Investments has also nosedived. With a month until the voting period opens, this discovery has disrupted an already much delayed federal election. Federal election. The Allied perspective. The Alliance is observing the federal president election, but expects little will change in relationships between the two superpowers. Prime Minister Edmund Mahon delivered a formal address on the topic before the Assembly. The Alliance continues to enjoy stable relations with the Federation. Our recent anti-Xeno coalitions, including the reformation of Aegis, show how we can benefit from maintaining such cooperation. I am confident that the new president, whoever it may be, will respect the status quo. Councillor Nakato Kane gave a more direct statement to the press. I cannot ignore how the Federation has become more authoritarian under Zachary Hudson's Republican government. It has also coped poorly with internal pressures. The Starship One conspiracy, Jupiter Division's attempted coup, the secession crisis triggered by the Proactive Detection Bureau's operation. The list goes on. And yet, federal democracy is now empowering every individual to elect their leaders. That, at least, is something we in the Alliance should admire and consider adopting.
Orbital flight engaged.
file cloned.
Don't you dare. Stow your weapon. Stick to the rules from now on.
Entering pressurized environment.
Alarm systems disabled. Authorization scans disabled.
Suit recharging. Suit fully charged.
We don't often get visitors here.
center shutdown protocol.
Power center shutdown protocol has been initiated.
Ah, hell, you asked for this!